I wanted to do a quick update video because it's been a while since I posted a video. I decided I'd do it this way because sometimes I lose my train of thought when the camera's on me, especially with my CFS. So I thought this way I could look at notes if I needed to. But I wanted to just give you an update on I've still been in a flare. I'm still not doing the best, and I spend a lot of time in bed. Um, I'm still trying to get back to where I was before. Um, but I wanted to talk a little bit about perfectionism. I realized that when I was trying to do everything right, I was trying to be perfect at everything, trying to do it at 100% and trying to be perfect. And I think that's really what burned me out. I read a book just recently called Finish by John Alcoff, and he was talking about how to set goals so that you're not um, doing it in a perfectionist way. So that, in other words, you set smaller goals for yourself instead of these big, huge ones that you'll just end up not accomplishing. So I kind of gave up on my perfectionist ways, and I think that's helped a lot in my mindset and trying to be perfect. But one thing I did that I really that I started doing recently was I started doing 10-minute meditations instead of my 40-minute meditations that I was doing before. I really got burned out on doing 40 minutes of meditation straight. This past week I've done 10-minute meditations, and I seem to feel more calm and relaxed, and even just doing 10 minutes. And so that's helped, I think. I've also recently kind of changed up my diet. For a while there, I was being kind of too relaxed with it. I was starting to eat sugar and things like that, and I noticed a difference in how I'm feeling. So I decided to cut out all sugar, and I started eating a lot more veggies. So I'm including like 3 meals a day where I have veggies in my diet. I'm also, sorry, I need to look at my notes just a minute. I'm also started doing some homeopathics. I have a naturopath that I'm working with, and at first I wasn't going to do the homeopathics because I'm not sure that they'll work. But at the same time, they didn't cost me that much to do them. They were only like $10. So I figured it was worth a shot to just give it a try. And I'm not expecting them to cure me because I don't believe that any one thing is going to help me get better. It's going to take multiple things. And so I decided to try the homeopathics. In part of the reason I wanted to try them too is because even on trazodone, I'm having trouble sleeping. I'll fall asleep fine, but then I wake up in the middle of the night, usually around 3, and then I'm up for, 3-4 hours sometimes before I fall back to sleep for another couple hours. And so I decided that I really needed to try something, even if it just helps my sleep. That's what I'd be happy with. I'm also doing stretching. I'm making sure I'm doing stretching every day. I feel better when I do stretching. A lot of times it's just stretching in bed, but I do some relaxed yoga poses, and I find it very relaxing and calming. Anyway, I just wanted to say too that I think part of the reason I decided to go back to doing some of the things I was doing before is I was reading in my book, sorry, that's my dog barking. Anyway, I was reading in James Herriot book, and it was talking about how this sheep that he was working on was very sick and really about to die. And so they decided it'd be a while before they could actually bring the guy out to butcher the sheep or whatever. And so without telling the farmer, James Herriot just decided that he was going to sedate the the sheep. And that way that at least the sheep would be out of pain for a few hours. Well, it ended up being that the sheep was actually asleep for like a couple of days straight. And when the sheep woke up, the sheep was better. It was running around and eating and stuff. So later on, he actually tried that with the dog, and the dog was sick and throwing up and just really doing bad, and they couldn't find anything that worked. And so he decided he'd try the same thing with the dog, and he gave the dog a sedative to help the dog sleep. Well, the dog again slept for another couple of days, ended up waking up in a couple of days and felt better, was eating, and the dog really stayed healthy the rest of its life. And so it got me thinking. I've always thought I would love it if somebody just knocked me out for a couple of weeks and I'd wake up and be all better. That would be my dream. But I was thinking that, given the right circumstances, the body can heal itself. I'm not saying I don't know if I'll be healed. I'm hoping that I will be. But if I give my body the right circumstances, it's going to feel better, It's going to work on repairing itself. And so right now I'm trying to put my body in the right circumstances by doing my 10-minute meditations, relaxing in bed, listening to audiobooks, trying to eat a lot better and eat more veggies and cut out the sugar, and doing my stretching, trying to find things that bring me joy and happiness and stuff like that. So I figured, that I'd give those things a shot, and give my body the chance it needs. And I guess that's really all I have to say. Just a quick update. Sorry, it's jumbled and a mess. I have a hard time sometimes putting together thoughts. As you know, fellow sufferers with CFS, it can be hard sometimes to put together your thoughts. Anyway, I'll update you another day.